This video will analyse Pacific Rim Shatterdome Strike, a ride at Indonesia's Trans-Studio theme park, Cibubur, near Jakarta. Any parts of the ride that provide no informational value, such as waiting or walking, with no dialogue or relevant imagery, will be skipped through. It is essential to keep in mind that this ride is completely non-canon and should not be taken seriously at all. The following analysis will explain why. Here we're introduced to what is supposedly a new Mark 7 Jaeger, Storm Garuda. Sabre Athena was a Mark 7 Jaeger, but an experimental one. Despite being experimental, Sabre was still the world's first Mark 7 Jaeger, not Storm Garuda. We can see on the oversimplified blueprint that Storm Garuda is meant to be an Indonesian Jaeger. One thing that stands out about the Jaeger is what appears to be a nuclear reactor. Nuclear reactors as power sources ceased usage after the Mark III generation of Jaegers. Gypsy Avenger is an exception to this, as it honours its predecessor, Gypsy Danger. Avenger may also have been fitted with a nuclear power source in case of a problem affecting the other Jaeger's power sources, as Gypsy Danger, being nuclear, proved useful during the double event incident in 2025. As for this new Jaeger's name, Garuda is a bird creature from Hindu mythology. This explains the unusual wings on the Jaeger's back, which you will soon see look like strongly exaggerated versions of the T-16 Angel wings seen on Striker Eureka. Something interesting worth mentioning is that someone used the Jaeger Designer app in 2013 to create a made-up Jaeger called Garuda, which was meant to be Indonesian. This is a rather large coincidence, if one.
When the monsters came,
the Storm Garuda promotional video that plays mirrors the Join the Jaeger Uprising video released to promote Pacific Rim Uprising.
innovation is our superpower. What is a Jaeger? It's you. Times 1,000. Tall as a mountain, with a beating heart that burns as bright as the sun. Enabling us all to become the most heroic versions of ourselves. A storm is approaching on the horizon. Prepare yourself. Strength.
We see that the Jaeger utilises plasma chainsaws, like those possessed by Obsidian Fury.
Unstoppable force of nature. They become Storm Garuda. Launching today at Trans-Studio Cibubur.
This is the Kaiju Emergency Alert System. Please evacuate through the nearest emergency exit. This is not a drill. Kaiju attack is imminent. Please evacuate to the nearest anti-Kaiju shelter. I repeat, Kaiju attack is imminent.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we need to evacuate.
CNN Indonesia Breaking News.
The breaking news report features slowed-down footage from Pacific Rim and Pacific Rim Uprising used in the background. The headings translate to Kaiju Attack Trans-Studio Cibubur. PPDC responds by mobilising Jakarta Shatterdome Strike Team. There is indeed a Jakarta Shatterdome as of 2035.
This way. Do not panic. Move quickly and orderly to the evacuation area. We'll have to make our way to the loading dock through here.
TS Convoy, this is Jakarta Shatterdome Low-Scent Mission Control. Immediate evacuation is required. Extraction point is the Jakarta Shatterdome. Autopilot engaged. Route is clear. Let's roll. What the?
Detour.
November Ajax? Mayday! Mayday! November Ajax is down. I repeat, November Ajax is down.
Calculating escape route.
We know that in truth, November Ajax was actually destroyed by the Kaiju drone hybrids at Santa Monica Beach.
Codename Thunderhead.
Here we see Bracer Phoenix Redeemed, a name for Bracer Phoenix retrofitted with Titan Redeemer's M19 Morning Star, fighting a kaiju named Thunderhead. The kaiju has electric arcs surrounding it.
Antiversal signatures in your area.
Systems online. Drive power at 10%. Drive power at 20%.
Another kaiju with molten tongues appears to try and reach the civilians. This use of tongues for sensory or grasping purposes is similar to Otachi's in 2025.
Rerouting the Shatterdome. Jaeger base is 3 clicks away.
Incoming aerial plasma assault.
Here we have Saber Athena killing what appears to be an ice-based kaiju.
I've lost control of the PCB. Can you hear me? This is low-set mission control. Come back.
We see that a ride called Kaiju Encounter is meant to prepare children for a real kaiju attack.
Hurry! Kaiju have blocked the main route. We need to continue on foot from here. Take these and follow me. These kaiju rides are real popular with the parents. It's a good way to teach kids basic safety principles in case of a kaiju attack. Everyone, stay alert and stay together. It looks like it's blocking our exit. There's only one way to get to the Shatterdome. If we can't get around it, we're gonna have to go through.
The size of the dead kaiju is clearly scaled down for practical reasons.
Hopefully the decontamination station hasn't been destroyed when we get there. This could get messy. You've all been immunized against kaiju flu, right?
Entering the kaiju without proper protective gear and before neutralizing its blood's corrosive factor would result in death. Furthermore, it's highly unlikely any immunization to kaiju blue exists, despite the guide's comment. Even by 2035, the substance was considered ridiculously complex by top scientists such as Dr. Hermann Gottlieb, and was still being researched with new discoveries being made. Toxoid vaccines for Earth-based toxins that were discovered long before have not yet been developed. Never mind for a complicated alien one that had only been around on Earth for 22 years. Its volatile nature would make it incredibly hard to operate on. In addition to this, no vaccine would protect against the corrosion of kaiju blood. There would be no way for anyone to safely pass through the kaiju without the correct protective gear.
Prepare Storm Garuda for launch.
Sir, we've got another group of evacuees.
Not anymore. They're now Ranger cadets. Take them to JTech and put them to use.
This clearly would never happen, for reasons that require no explanation. In the background, we can see the volcanic kaiju from earlier expelling lava, and again using its 3 tongues for sensing its environment, or to try and grasp anything nearby. The evacuees are now transported to Storm Garuda. There is nothing to take seriously here, as this is all clearly done for the entertainment of the general public. Here we see the classic con pod drop and a traditional gypsy-style neural calibration test.
Kaiju codename Inferno nearby. Let's send this kaiju back to where it came from.
Power diversion active. Jaeger system power restored.
Stay focused. It won't be able to break through the fire.
Gypsy Avenger engages the volcanic kaiju, assisting Storm Garuda in killing it. In this segment, we can hear references to a plasma caster and plasma chainsaws through the Jaeger's AI, giving us a better idea of its arsenal.
This is new.
A kaiju meltdown occurs, requiring the pilots of Storm Garuda to eject. It is unclear what this meltdown refers to, but the term has not before been used in relation to a kaiju, and may be referring to this kaiju's volcanic nature. Both the kaiju meltdown and parachute ejection mechanism are not established in canon. Like most other aspects of this video, they were implemented just for the purpose of this ride's story, and do not represent any canon concept. Pacific Rim Shatterdome Strike is a theme park ride aimed at the general public. Whilst its 3D film sequences and practical effects may impress some, its unconvincing plot and false canon produce an inaccurate representation of the franchise. This is understandable, considering a truly accurate ride would be difficult to produce with the same level of entertainment for the average theme park goer. The events seen in this ride did not happen at any point, with everything from evacuees being made Jaeger pilots to elemental kaiju. Shatterdome Strike incorrectly portrays Pacific Rim and is not at all the source of canon. Storm Garuda and the 3 newly introduced kaiju are non-canonical, unless referenced again in a future source of canon media. This, however, appears to be the aim of the ride, with everything being exclusive to the theme park attraction. It is clear that Legacy Entertainment, the company that designed the ride, collaborated closely with Legendary Entertainment and attempted to reference source material as much as possible. Although this wasn't done accurately, the effort is to be appreciated. It's important to note that the point of view footage analysed was filmed during technical rehearsals of the ride. That is all for this video. Please share any thoughts, questions or suggestions in the comments section. Thank you for watching.